I wanted to ask really about how you're using the public research in the UK, UKRI, Agri-Tech, to unlock private and to unlock global impact. You've all said at the beginning that you agree that this is a global grand challenge. We've got to feed 9 billion mouths, and we have amazing science. I think you'd agree that we've traditionally not, in the last 40, 50 years, been very good at turning it into global impact. So my first question is, on the public funding, let's start with Dr. Riaz on the left and go along. Do any of you know, as a trade envoy, I'd love to know, what is the UK, through UKRI and other programmes, what do we invest every year in public agriculture, science, research, innovation? Are you all happy to run with a number of 400 million is a year, roughly?
Yeah, approximately. Yeah.
Split, half UKRI, BBSRC and other projects, Innovate, and half DEFRA.
Perhaps 2/3 UKRI, but yes, Karen.
So, thank you. My next affiliated question is, do you know which of the top nations in the global investment race in agri-tech are and where we sit in that league table? Can you give me the number? Because I don't think we are in the top 5. I'm interested in your numbers.
So I can provide that to the committee later, but there is a chart.
Well, I've got it at China's at about $1 billion, going up 80% last year. The US at over 5 billion a year. The EU is now going up to 2 billion.
That's correct.
India's at $1 billion, Brazil at $100 million. So we're bigger than Brazil. Yeah. So we've had some really good sessions here, you'll have seen, asking Secretary of State and Minister Vallance and others, what's the mission? And the mission really is to convert our great science into both world-class impact through patents and prizes, but through growth, innovation, and through domestic and international security. And in food security, that's pretty powerful, pretty important. So can I ask, does UKRI see it as your role, enhancing the role of the research councils, to deliver that? So do you take that number, 260 within UKRI and 200 across government, and ask, what are we doing to turn that into private investment, growth and global impact? Do any of you know two numbers, the number of private sector investment in agri research and development technology in the UK and the SME funding number? Could I ask you just after this to drop us a line with your best answer of those? Because I'm asking it because when we asked the Secretary of State, what is your key metric for how you deploy this 86 billion over 4 years? She said, well, there are lots, 3 buckets, but the big one is growth. Yeah. And the big metric is how much money are we attracting? I mean, it was a laudably honest answer, so I'm just reflecting that. Could you let us have your best data on how much you think across government, across UKRI, BBSRC you're deploying, and what currently we're attracting, what you think we should be getting that up to over the CSR? Thank you. I wanted to ask then about catapults and the global. As a trade envoy, I see one of the challenges is in the UK, governments, I was proud to launch the first agri-tech industrial strategy in 2013. Successive governments, I'm afraid my own, through Brexit and political instability, have slightly dropped the ball, I think. I don't think we've given our farmers a clear signal. But internationally, in Brazil, in the Gulf, in Southeast Asia, there is a ton of money going into everything from disease-resistant crops, water-resistant crops, agri-tech, robotics. They know that food security is national security. What mechanisms do we have through UKRI catapults for deepening engagement and tech transfer? Maybe that's an Innovate UK. The committee, the best example, the sort of Google or whatever it is example of a UK agri-tech nurtured by Innovate that's raised money and is now having a big impact on agriculture here and or globally. The UK example, given the big global food challenges are in Southeast Asia, Africa, South America, feeding the burgeoning urban populations in the growth economies, what do any of you have a responsibility, Innovate, BBSRC or UKRI? And again, do you have any impact measurements as to how well we're doing in helping in tropical agriculture? We used to be a powerhouse in tropical agriculture. Do we have a transmission mechanism? Is that what the catapults are doing? Who's doing that? I know Chair wants to ask about Africa, where the Gulf is investing heavily in agriculture because they don't want Africa to starve and release hundreds of millions. And Professor Ferguson, can I ask you about genetics and patenting? I remember going to see Janet Thornton at the European Bioinformatics Institute, and she showed me this patent wave around the globe every day on human health, but we're also patenting on animal and plant health, incredible discoveries. How do we rank given we're brilliant at science, how do we rank in the patenting race for innovations that will help global agriculture? Does BBSRC have a tech transfer arm? Like the MRC had a very powerful MRC Ventures, MRC Technology. Do you have a kind of, look, we BBSRC want to make this intellectual property work for the world and we license, collaborate, fund? How much you raise a year off the back of the research